Hello, we're Kinnaris Quintet, and we are here to do this listening club of our album Free One. Thanks very much to Andy for having us along. Yeah.
It's exciting.
We actually do start with this one in gigs quite often.
It's quite good for seeing what it sounds like, I think. Like on stage.
Quite good for tuning up as well. Oh, I'm out of tune.
Yeah, and also we like to surprise the audience with the B part. Sometimes I think they know what we're going to sound like after this.
Aileen wrote this tune. Was it for...
I actually wrote it first tune when I got my 5-string fiddle, my Tim Phillips one, which is normal fiddle with a C on the bottom. I tried to figure out how to play it, so I wrote this tune to use all the strings, and then I didn't have a name for it, so I named it after my daughter's great grandmother. It was very sweet and very strong,
as you can hear in the track.
I remember one time when I first, because we didn't use the octave pedal when we did this album, we put that stuff in afterwards, and I remember like once experimenting with putting the octave on at the point that we hit the B part of the tune and just be like it's like, okay, no.
That was in Shetland, wasn't it?
I think it was before then. It was like Cambridge. I think it was years ago.
I remember us playing this in Shetland last year at the folk festival. Ross Cooper being at the front in his crutches the day after and between my octave pedal and your octave pedal, that note and two was it.
Can I just say that Is It Here is my one of my solos on the album.
More mandolin.
I think I did.
More mandolin.
I'm pretty certain that I did that by accident in a rehearsal, and then we just kept it in.
And nobody play an LB.
I'm always really proud when you get the right chord, Elby.
That's true.
No, because there was once you didn't know. No, there was once that you didn't know if it was a B or a B flat.
There definitely was that time. End of bounds.
Like, what ended the Kinnaris Quintet, the Hudson Listening Club?
No, because you told me before that you weren't sure what key it was in before.
That is true. That is true. I learn by ear. Doesn't mean I know what key I'm playing in.
Love that bit.
I love that bit too. Yeah. And it also makes me remember that we're just about to go to the next tune.
It's a cue, isn't it?
This is one of the ones that we extended a little bit, didn't we? We worked with
Esco.
Esco.
Yeah.
Esco Yarville, yeah.
It's so fun when the reel comes in.
Yeah, we co-produced this album, but we had Esco Yarville in for a day of like pre-production. So he picked a few of the tracks and got us to kind of listen to what we'd done and maybe extend bits, or yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah,
it was
like, that's a good idea. Just play it for longer. Okay.
Really.
Or like bits we maybe hadn't made enough of that he said, no, you can make more of that. It was,
The Stomp. So the guy that was recording the album, Andrea, he built the Stomp sound out of the sound of me punching parts of the guitar, so it's sort of a stomp that fits within the guitar sound. It's just kind of made it the same thing. It's kind of cool.
And did you not have that programmed into your stomp sheet?
I did for a while, but it had a slight delay on it, so I sacked it off and then I just used a retro drum machine. It's like banging.
I remember when we were playing this all in, like, for live, it's a little bit different, and we thought maybe sounded a bit muddy without having the melody in the higher octave, and it was total B to play up the octave. But I actually like the way it sounds live now without the high octave. I quite like the dirtiness of all of us being quite close together, the three fiddles.
Yeah, me too.
That's one of my favourite ones to play, I think.
Yeah,
Me too.
it's great fun.
Yeah, me too.
I like this one a lot because I don't really play much of the melody, and it's quite hard. And I just like the way the harmony moves, and so I just, from day one, like after just after just playing like the harmony notes, like nicest notes I could find within the harmony that Jenn and Albie were playing, just stayed there. And so I just get away without having to play this tune, basically.
This is a fun one because we just play across each other, me and LB, just across the stage, and try and like look at each other as if we're trying to remember which chord's next.
Yeah, there's definitely some psychic stuff going on there, Jenn. Definitely.
This,
And a slight fear.
Of like,
yeah. This was actually a nightmare to start a gig with.
Oh yeah.
Because it's actually really hard to play.
Yeah, it's better once you're warmed
And
up.
if you haven't been playing, I totally. Which we found out I have to do the hard way, didn't we, Fiona?
Yeah.
Start like a
Few times. Sounds a lot easier than it actually is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard.
I
love
was so
this bit as
delighted
well.
that we recorded this tune. Yeah.
This bit.
This is written by Anthony Davis, who's probably my favourite person in the whole entire world.
Oh,
So proud that we got one of his tunes on here.
I love it as well. It's very euphoric.
this is a good example of Esco's influence of like just play around longer. We were like,
Yeah.
how do we extend it? I think we extended stuff even further on the day with Esco, and then pulled stuff back to where we decided felt right for us as well. So it was quite an interesting wee cycle.
Yeah, we'd started this chord progression and he got us to
Take it even further.
take it further, and it's one of my favourite chord progressions in the whole.
It's just that whole, I think it's what the band's about. It's like just when you think it's gone as far as it can go,
Yeah.
it just goes even further.
I
was
love
this
playing
one
this
and the
one.
one
I
in-
love playing this one. Do.
Yeah, kind of
The
like the
drop,
swells
yeah.
and
That bit there that I'm doing is meant to sound watery, not just me being crap at playing it.
Watery.
Anyway,
This is where we need to be psychic, Aileen.
well, the story of this one is.
Yeah, I'm like desperately trying to stay in 3/4.
And Fee's
like,
just
from
like
before
rocking this
Yeah,
stuff.
I know.
Look at them.
I'm just playing anything.
Is it?
No, you hold it together. You totally hold it together.
Yeah.
And I learned this tune at this thing when I was really young, at this youth project called Harvest, as a waltz, basically. And then we just turned it on its head, and now it's like bouncing, which I think you and Aileen and Jenn maybe trialed, and it sounds great. And
This is one of the examples of aliens like hearing time signatures in a different way. That's how it happened.
yeah,
I think
no, she
everyone-
meant it.
Inability to count.
She
I don't
meant
think
it.
that I think that everyone's playing a slightly different time signature at a different time in this, like, and we're just all like la 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 la.
Yeah.
I love this bit as well.
It changes it. It's funny, isn't it? Oh, we've got guitar moment.
Remember trying to come up with this bit here?
This bit always makes me think of winter. It's like some sort of like winter animation thing.
Yeah, it's quite wintry.
Like Christmas morning animation.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. On the telly.
That was another one of my solos.
What was that noise? JK.
And this chord run's so much fun.
Oh yeah.
When we did the gig with Elephant Sessions, it was so much fun when we
Yeah, the
they
synth
learned it,
bass drop.
when we did it longer.
Oh,
Totally. What's next?
I can't remember. That's bad, isn't it?
That's bad, yeah, I can't
Oh,
remember
it's-
either. Spent ages deciding this order as well.
Everybody,
yeah.
woo!
This is my favourite point of the gig.
Is that because you get to drink a Jaeger bomb? This is like
Yeah.
beer o'clock.
I know it's fun having a bit of just fiddles actually. Quite a like simple arrangement
Yeah,
just
it
for
is.
the three of us.
Just like really powerful as well. Like,
Good tune,
Yeah,
Wilkie.
it's great.
It's written for a special wee lass that I've still never met. It's my pal Angus Binney's daughter Mary, and he was like my first pal to have a baby that was like our age, and so yeah, I wrote her this and I still haven't met her. Like 7 years ago or something.
I remember the speed up in this one was always quite challenging. Like, it took us a while to sort of get this to feel like it wasn't either too slow or just like flying over the edge. It was like, it was such a hard balance to find the
Yeah.
tempo in the middle.
It's gonna be funny gigging this again after not doing it for ages. Maybe we just won't.
It's interesting though, like, even, you know, like, we obviously played some stuff to like clicks and things, but the clicks themselves like changed by like a couple of BPM between like A parts and B parts, because we played everything to make sure it felt right as opposed to like sticking to a certain tempo.
Oh, here we go.
Eh? Love of it.
This is the hit, I think. Due to Toria's challenge.
Sorry,
Well done, Laura.
hashtag.
Well done, everybody.
It's interesting though, because I think so many people like tried to play this tune not realising how hard it was. I think probably because you make it sound like it's not that hard.
It was never meant to be this speed, to be honest. But like, I remember when we were doing that weekend at your folks, Jen. Like, we needed something. Reality. Yeah, I remember we just needed something fast, didn't we?
Yeah.
And also, I think this track actually really showcases you, Jen, and LB as a like rhythm section, like together. Because there's nothing like super mental happening, but it's like I just think you can really feel how solid you guys are, like supporting the melody, and it's so grooving. It's always fun to play, even though it's a really hard tune that I can barely play myself. It's like it's fun to just play with that, like, I don't know, you've just got us. Hey Fiona.
Yeah.
Ah, thanks, Wilkie.
Get you.
Although, yeah, Fiona and I are like constantly looking at each other like,
No. Are you in the A part or the
Are
B
you in the A
part? I can't hear.
Oh, this bit. I love this bit. I remember hearing this, and just like when we got the first master back, and listening to your just that little bit, and I just remember this memory of being like, I just love that tiny little bit of fiddle that you play at the top of that solo. It's like, yes.
Thanks, Jen. I love the vocal pads that you guys do here.
Oh yeah.
Actually. And it's always like on a gig we have to always like tell a sound engineer, like they'll see 3 vocal mics and be like, right, I know what to do here, and we're like, no, like you've got to mix that like that.
Right.
They're not lead vocals. The fiddles are the lead vocals.
Yeah, totally.
We recorded this and then I had like 3 or 4 months where I wasn't allowed to speak or sing. So I couldn't actually do these parts in the gig, and it was really annoying.
I'm definitely a big fan of dropping to the halftime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, me too. I thought Andrea did a great job of getting all the instruments sounding really natural on this album.
There's I'm loving the reverbs
really
that I forget
the
that are on,
sounds.
you know, because we get so used to hearing.
Yeah, I was really happy when I heard this back. I was really, really happy with the mandolin sound that Andrea got on this, and all the instruments actually. But it's just really it's really sweet and clear, and I was dead chuffed.
Yeah, you sound great on this track. I love you and Jen just playing together. It's so delicate. It's really lovely.
Yeah, it's a beautiful tune.
Wrote it for my stepdad's mum, June, who's from. She lived in Lincolnshire, and she had this most beautiful. I was quite a young child when I knew her. And she had this most beautiful garden, and it was like, it reminded me of the Secret Garden.
Oh, amazing.
It had all little like windy paths and like hidden little paths and things.
It actually reminds me, if I think about it, I loved that film as a child, and it's quite like that. I think you've captured that film. My favourite bit is the E chord halfway through.
I've forgotten to come in so many times because I just enjoy listening to you.
That's a great excuse.
So nice.
I'm going to use that one. Hey guys. Sorry I didn't come on stage. I was just having such a good time listening to you.
This is yet another thing that I've managed to back out of, basically. But like, apart from like some false harmonics, which sometimes don't even happen if I try
They
and
totally
do them.
make it though. They're so cool.
But if I never really can hear in my monitors if they're happening or not, so I just have to hope before we play live.
There's always the sort of long pauses at the end of the phrases that we've sort of like, we just got to look at each other, and I always go for like, when you're playing, you do like, there's like the way that you move your hand just before the next part, I can always tell. But the thing is that if I look at my my fretboard, in that split second that you move your hand, I'm like, oh no,
Missed
where's
it.
that bit? And so there's been all these times that I've come in like a split second at the wrong time, but I just always go for this.
I try and look
cue.
at you for that bit where we come in after the pause, but because it's up the neck, I need to check I'm on the right fret.
too.
So I'm like,
You're like,
Amateurs.
see, when we played this at the Trad Awards, I think that's the most nervous I've probably ever been. Ever.
oh man. My stomp shoe stopped working about like 30 seconds before we went live at the Trad Awards, and I was like, I had to get a new cable and stuff all fitted and things because it wasn't triggering.
Oh no.
It's mental. And I was like, no, of all the gigs that I really want this stomp box to work for, this is the one.
That's such a shame. Luckily it went down well eventually.
It's like adrenaline to the max. I love the fact it just all starts enveloping over each other.
It's so funny to like listen to this and think that we first heard this tune, Callum just like diddling it
In the kitchen.
in the kitchen.
Was he? I never properly heard that story. So what? Like,
Well,
did you
he's-
just hear him one day?
He'd sung it to me. He writes tunes in his head, and they stay in his head,
Wow.
which I can't get my head around actually. And we were sitting in the Three Judges one day, and he just sang it to me, and he was like, "I think this would be quite good for Kinnaris," and I was like, "Well, we'll see. Sing, like, come and just when we rehearse things, then bring it and see what everyone thinks."
Oh, it's really fun. I've taught this tune at Tinto, this youth music, and honestly, everyone loves playing it. All the kids love playing it, no matter what instrument they're on.
I love your part here, Will.
Yeah, me too.
That wee line.
It makes me feel like I'm at a teenage disco in the 90s. Do you know that way?
Me
It's
too.
like proper channeling that like massive build, you know?
Thanks,
Sixth
Stu.
form party. I'm always so glad when you guys come in with the tune there. It's like, oh!
This is like proper stomp power at this point in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always really fun to play live, this bit.
Especially when it's a standing audience.
Yeah.
It's one of the jumpier ones, isn't it?
And one time we did actually play it with Callum, so with pipes.
yeah.
When we were in Shetland at New Year. That was actually so epic.
Yeah, that was fun.
Here we go, Wilkie.
Blah 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 blah.
I'm just like watching your face going like,
I can feel it going red already. But it's actually, for this kind of solo section, like, it was actually quite good to just work out like a backup solo. So if I freak out, then I know something that I can play. Or if I can't hear myself, then I can muscle memory something. And also, yeah, the bit just played there, here. We were then able to harmonise it, because if you transcribe it and then harmonise it. So sometimes if I play that live, the girls catch that I'm doing it and play the harmony part. So maybe I should just keep doing that rather than making it up and it potentially sounding awful.
it's nice being spontaneous. I think that's cool.
Cool to have spaces in such arranged music. It's nice to have spaces where there's a bit of freedom, I think.
It's really fun to play this actually when there's good on stage sound. If I feel like it, yeah. But it's always way better once you guys all come back in.
You dig in.
I always get goosebumps at this bit when it comes back in.
Yeah, it feels good.
And we've extended this for live gigs as well, which is good.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, we kind of took a bit of Esco's wisdom for that. Play more of it, because it's fun.
It's funny how much it like transports you back on stage. It's like
Uh-huh.
I can totally see a stage right now. It's,
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I like when we all go back like on the beat at this bit, I think.
yeah.
And it's not yet. Or maybe it's Aileen that does it. Or maybe we didn't record that. Maybe that just happens
Yeah, it's
live
sort
now.
of evolved. There's a lot of things
Yeah.
that have sort of evolved a bit more now. Yeah.
I love doing this one. I love it. Because I love the like sad like I don't know, I just love how sad our fiddles all sound together.
Yeah, I like the fiddle parts. That was your chords were really cool there.
I remember when we came up with this one at your folks' house, Jen, actually, and we were all really excited by it because it was so different to everything else that we'd put together.
And Jen, your playing on this is just so lovely as well. It's just
Oh man. Cheers.
This is one because I think it was originally kind of like a faster jig, and then we slowed it down, I think it works well.
Yeah, and because it's bloody hard fast.
Yeah.
Would Ali play this fast?
Yeah, I think it was written faster. I don't think he's really ever played it for anything.
Is that because we hijacked it?
Yeah.
And named it.
And named it, and now he's embarrassed.
Oh yeah, for anyone that doesn't know that is watching this tune is written by Ali Hudson.
It's so cool when you come in with that as well.
Yeah, I love Fiona. Your style's really showcased, I think, in this track. It's so brings me back to watching Kjolga Cashel.
That's back on the telly. I switched on
No, I
BBC
saw
Alba the
that.
other day and I saw myself. I was like,
Is it on BBC Alba?
yep.
Oh no way! I need to get on that. I used to idolise Fiona from my TV at home when I didn't know who she was, and I still can't play like her.
No, you don't want to play like me.
That West Coast lilt.
Helby's tenor debut.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Doesn't always go as planned.
Sounds lovely.
It was nice just working out the little intricacies of how you play the tune.
There was wee bits that we worked out finally after months of gigging it.
Yeah. Yeah, actually
That's a
recording
common
it. Yeah. It was quite good to record it and be like, oh, that's the part. Finally. Months later.
Yeah.
But it's really fun being in octaves with Aileen, actually. Like, underneath you playing the tune. I really enjoy that.
The string parts are lovely.
Really fun.
That bit, yeah. I love the fact this is like a massive build and then it just like drops.
And the build again. I think this is my favourite track, actually.
It's funny.
Maybe
'cause
it's because we don't do it that much.
Yeah, totally.
I like Aileen's pog on this
Yeah.
Totally.
octave. It's really nice.
Oh, hi, Aileen.
Oh,
Just talking about you.
is that I'm not coming back on.
Hello. We're just on Fiona. Princess Fiona.
Oh,
But yeah, we haven't told everyone about the name.
we have what?
The name of this tune.
Yeah,
It's
we
called.
just named it.
Oh yeah,
Because it didn't have a
too
name.
many names for everything now.
Whoa!
Aileen brought this tune to the band, and then we had to play it together for hours and hours to get it in unison, didn't we? For ages.
I
Still
seem
gives
to
me the
remember.
fear.
I think I was playing the tune and you guys were trying to learn it by ear, so that it was. I think that was. I seem to remember like reading the sheet music and playing because I could only really play it like slightly slower, so it was like totally fine for me to play the tune when you guys were learning, and then it was like, okay, I'll play chords now.
Yeah, but it was one of those ones I really had to learn by ear because I knew I would never get rid of the music
Yeah.
otherwise.
totally.
But it took me ages to learn it properly. It's really satisfying to play though.
Yeah.
This is an start on.
Yeah. I really like when we all break into harmony on the fiddle set, on the B part of that.
I think we just wanted a tune that just came straight in because most of our tunes have introductions.
Yeah, with no bills.
Yeah, yeah,
No faffing about.
yeah.
It's a Cathal Hayden tune, isn't it, Aileen?
Yeah.
Aileen, you're muted.
I think she's speaking to
Yeah, I think she's.
Alright, okay.
Ophelia's heard it all before.
this part, like I play the chord like a beat later every time, so it's like each time you play the tune through, it's like the chord just gets a bit later.
And we're supposed to accent it at that same time, but I don't think we ever properly managed to do that.
Here comes our ruining of Rob Harbin's beautiful tune.
I love going up here.
Oh yeah.
Because then you can hear you guys playing melody.
I remember I played a video of this. I showed Rob a video. I think after we'd done maybe Underneath, it's like a really early gig, maybe it was Underneath the Stars, so it was like,
really early.
It was really early. Maybe it was a bit later than that actually, because I think we had Stomp and stuff involved as well.
Was it Sidmouth, maybe?
Yeah, it might have been. But anyway, I showed him the video and he was like, I was like, yeah, cool, we're playing your tune. And he was like, it's fast.
And it's really different. And we changed the key, didn't we?
Yeah.
Did we?
Original's in D. It's a beautiful.
It's brighter though.
Yeah, Leverett. Well, actually, I think we heard Rob and Sam just playing it as a duo the first time, but then we heard Leverett play it as well. It's so nice.
Was it when we were teaching at Folkworks, Jen?
Yeah.
Oh,
And both of us were just like, whoa, that's such a good tune. Want to learn that too.
It's an earworm, total immediate earworm.
This is the other chord progression that Esco got us to.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's my favourite chord progression on the album.
Yeah, that's bit.
My big high note.
Yeah! Proud of you, gal.
Thank you. Thank you.
Listen to her soaring.
Never like that, like.
Shut up!
This is meant to be the birds, wasn't it?
This is the first thing that we did, wasn't it? Ever?
Yeah.
Drinking Prosecco.
Yeah, I remember I learned Salt Spring at Valley of the Moon Fiddle Camp in California from, I think, like Galen Fraser and co. And it was like one of these tunes that it's so fun to play it in a session kind of environment because it's quite easy to learn once you get the kind of first little
It's got a lot of
run up.
hooks.
Yeah, and it's just really like an inclusive thing. And so every time that I'd been to a session, when I used to play at loads of sessions a few years ago and before lockdown, it'd be something that I could like really quickly teach everyone, or everyone could really quickly pick it up. So it's like so fun, and it's such a good tune. So I guess that's where its popularity, like all over the world, has come from. It's so fun. So yeah, we really also, I think it's so hard to get out of this tune once you're in it. So making this big overture at the start of it, maybe I don't know, allowed us to like make a outro. What's the opposite of an overture? The end.
And
Yeah, like bookend it in a really like
reprise, no.
yeah, a dithery way, like a like non-committal way out.
It's like,
Yeah. And luckily, I don't think John Richmond hates it.
he really likes it.
Does he?
Yeah, I was emailing him about something else, and he
yeah.
said he really liked it. Yeah.
Cool.
Like, woohoo!
There's that wild bit where it goes from like the A major thing to the B major thing, and it's like, whoa, that's like sacrilege. LB.
Oh, I have a third
Yeah,
solo.
I told you.
Basically the LB band.
That ego, Jesus.
LB and Co.
That's the next album. Kinnaris Quintet in small writing, LB. KQLB.
Redo the logo and L and a B.
I'm gonna do that.
On the Gobo, LB's just replaced it for the next gig.
Yeah, sounds about right to me. Not. Hi, Ophelia. Oh,
Oh, she's off.
Oh, God.
It's fun playing the tune all together in this one.
Yeah.
And we do
satisfying.
festivals, sometimes I shove and stomp on at the same time.
If the crowd aren't listening.
Very much
Like,
fine.
listen.
Listen! Stop.
This bit reminds me of like, you know, have you ever seen The Wizard of Oz? When Dorothy wakes up and she's in, what's the place called? Oz. It's like, or yeah, it reminds me of that.
Yeah, I know what you mean actually.
Or no, it's later in the film when she wakes up in the poppy field. Sorry, I definitely know that film. Me too.
to the back of my brain. Because for the first section of that, I'm playing in a different time signature to any of you. So I quite often was like,
I love Aileen's like low notes in that little minory bit.
Yeah. It's like so much suspense. This is your bluegrass chords as well, it'll be this bit, isn't it?
yeah. Yeah, I couldn't play this whole tune without doing any, like, a little bit of something.
I miss gigging.
I know. Totally. It's nice. There's so much nice, so many nice memories. Yas.
We like ascending lines in this band, don't we? Mm-hmm. Like, there's a few tunes that we play that just kind of like rise up and up and up in the melody.
Yeah, this is a B major
Oh yeah.
or whatever it is. I can't even remember. It's good for.
Yeah, it's a B.
It's like a D major 7 to.
I play a B major 7.
Yeah, me too.
You do a wee
Epic.
slide down off of that at the end of the live gigs now. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Hey!
I love this tune so much. This is like a similar thing. I think I learned it from Ian Thompson, Tompy, affectionately known as, and he learned it from Ian Carr, and it's written by a wonderful fiddle player called Rona Darling, and it's called Balfour Road. I think she lived on Balfour Road, and I just love everything about this tune. I don't know. And
It's got so much character to it, like.
It's quite satisfying to play on the fiddle, like it just sits well under the fingers.
Totally.
Or in the land.
Yeah, it does.
I like playing it with this really like heavy backbeat thing, Jen, that you do. It totally makes me play it really differently. And a bit self-indulgent, maybe. Like that.
Oh, love it! This bit coming up is one of my favourite bits that we try and catch each other on the gigs.
The fast bit.
Yeah, where is it? Damn it.
I hope Rona Darling doesn't hate that bit.
It's one of our most playful sets.
Yeah.
And it's
if I'm
really
ever
nice.
nervous, I think it calms.
Yeah, and I think it's really good in a gig that's quite it's quite intense. Our music maybe it's quite millions. It's quite good to have something that's playful.
Quite full on sometimes.
Within that.
Yeah, it sort of feels like we just play like this in a session.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And actually, I think I played this particularly with you and LB and like the Flying Duck for ages when there was that period of time.
Yeah, I
We
remember
were
that.
tunes all the time.
When we used to have sessions.
Oh, when we used to... This is my one bit of drop D coming up I've ever done.
This is a Jenn solo.
Wow.
There you go.
This is the track where I played Dibba Dibba for nearly the entire track.
By the end of this, where we played the Scots Fiddle Festival, we played so hard that by the end of this piece of music, I'd knocked my D string actually out of the slot in the guitar, fully out of it, because we'd just been playing so hard.
Was that in the festival club?
Yeah, I remember, Fiona, did we not play this at like a house party? In the
Yeah, we
hallway?
did.
It was like a pretty hardcore house party, and then it was like, let's just play a tune. Let's just play that Alistair White tune.
Over and over and over.
Yeah. It sealed the deal.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, this is one of those repetitive... It's actually quite hypnotic playing that line round and round.
See in the studio when we did a few takes of this and I just did that dibba 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 the whole time.
Yeah.
I think eventually Andrea was like, LB, I think we might have your part. Thanks. Thanks, Andrea. I like to see the drop D gives your guitar some extra grunge on
It
top,
does.
and I really like it.
It's quite, it's tricky because you have to be careful not to play it too hard, otherwise the tuning of it just keeps dropping. It's like an elastic band. It's weird. It's funny because I don't really know how to play in drop D because it's the only time I've really ever done it. So it's funny that it's those are the only kind of chord shapes that I ever really play in it. That's a cool variation, that.
Yeah.
Fun. It's fun to do if you.
I don't think I'm playing it right, but I really like doing it.
Class.
He writes great tunes, doesn't he?
Back to
From
90s
here
club. 90s
Yeah.
club.
And this
Glow
is it.
sticks.
From here until the end.
This is huge.
That's all I do, yeah. No.
Slacker. Part timer.
I'm a slacker.
I still want you to use like an octave pedal thing that makes you have like 3 mandolin notes all at once for that bit. So it's just that one line, but it's huge.
Can't escape.
Yeah.
I love the when you came up with this halftime bit.
Oh yeah.
It's so satisfying.
But not you, LB. You gotta stay there.
And I'm like, no, trying to keep the same time that we were before.
Finally over. So
You know,
long.
it's one of those where you have to sort of take your dynamics in like increments. 3-1.
This is the last one, isn't it?
I played this with Aileen before the band started. So, like, we'd been sort of mucking about, and I was sort of interested in like releasing music without anybody knowing who was playing it to see whether they thought it was women or men. And we sort of and I remember us getting together in the old studio and playing this at each other. And
Yeah, I think that was the recording we got, wasn't it, when we were first starting learning it?
yeah,
Did she write it on the tenor, I think?
I think so. Yeah, on the tenor
Yeah.
guitar. I love the amount of space that's in this.
Fiona.
Yeah. It's another one of these ones that we've not secured 100%.
What parts? Yeah. We just try not to bang into each other. I'm like we're watching each other's fingers like, oh, she's going to play a G. Okay, no.
That's quite nice though. It sort of means it's always kind of new.
Keeps me alert, for sure.
Kind of supposed to be a bit free.
Yeah.
That's true, LB.
I love the fact it's really delicate, but on those little bits, they were like you dig in like mad when you're playing. Just those, the emphasis on those bits.
Yeah, I like when we do this one live, especially if there's been like a bit of a rowdy crowd, because like they have no choice. That's
Yeah.
kind of, it's like awkward if they keep chatting like over this silence.
Oh man, me and Aileen have played this in block, in like crazy loud block, and the whole place has been like forced into silence. In a good way.
Control,
Yeah, totally.
the power. And I love LB playing it on the tenor as well. And it's just you and Aileen, LB. It's really.
It was quite funny, kind of. You guys might have just said this. I was just trying to sort the lights out, but in the studio, because we couldn't see each other,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
it was actually really cool because we didn't think this would really be possible. Because every first note, Aileen plays kind of when she wants to, but actually it turned out that we'd played it enough together that we can do it without being able to see each other, which is a really nice kind of. It kind of reminded us that we know each other's music pretty well, which is really nice.
There she is.
singy bits.
Yeah, telepathy.
Don't clap yet. Don't clap yet.
Oh, is it done?
No.
No.
Oh, no.
Coming from Aileen, who always warns the audience that
Who wrote it?
that's funny. Be nice to do a gig, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I think this bit's my favourite. Like when and when the stomp comes in as well.
Yeah, I like that.
I genuinely yeah. It's like rather lucky I've never played with them. Yeah.
Aww.
No.
It's quite satisfying playing the stomp on something that's like euphoric and quite slow as well. Like, it's quite different.
Yeah, it kind of has a different purpose, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Makes me kind of think of a heartbeat or something.
Yeah, totally.
Oh. Again.
Hey!
Well, I haven't listened to that for ages.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
No, I never listened to it. Not gonna lie.
Well,